Is 2023 gonna be the year your business finally takes off? The year you quit your other job or a business model you don't love and go all in as the coach, practitioner, or consultant you really want to be? The year you take your business to the next level and double, triple, or quadruple the impact and income you make? Of course it is. But to make that happen, there are a few important places you need to be putting your time, energy, and focus this year that will make the biggest shifts for you and your business. So in this episode, I'm sharing the 5 biggest things you need to do to grow your business in 2023. So stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Shawn Mynar, and this is Unstuck Entrepreneur. I'm a former nutritionist who turned a struggling, stressful nutrition practice into a thriving, freedom-filled online business where I work from home in my sweatpants while reaching and helping thousands of people all at the same time. Now I'm obsessed with showing other heart-centered coaches, practitioners, and solopreneurs how to build a business and life they love. Consider this podcast your safe space to learn both the inner work and practical strategies required to build the impactful, profitable business of your dreams. No hustle, grind, or long hours required. That's right, hustle culture, not welcome here. Let's get into today's session. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Unstuck Entrepreneur podcast. I'm Shawn, your host on each and every episode of this show. And I am so happy to be back with you on this episode. Extra happy because it's been a while. I was off of the mic, 5 or 6 weeks. Took a break in between Thanksgiving and Christmas for the first time ever. And not a total break from my business entirely, but just kind of went more low key with everything, created less content, and just gave myself a little more space in my business because my personal life was busy. I had several different trips and vacations planned, the holidays, just a lot going on. And I just honestly didn't really have the time that I needed to intentionally create content. So it was like kind of a forced break, and I really enjoyed it. It was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. And I missed you, and I missed creating content for the podcast. I missed being on social media as much as I normally am. And sometimes I think that's good. It's good to have these times where we do take a step back, because without it, it's like we don't ever get to that point of missing it. And so it just becomes this continuous thing where it's just something we do and we don't have any emotion behind it. And we're going to talk about this coming up. So a little foreshadowing. And when you actually take a little bit of a break, you realize that it is fun and you do enjoy it and you do miss it. And then you can come back with so much more intention behind it. So all of that to say, missed you guys. Happy to be back recording the show. Have a ton of new episodes ready to go for you. And it's going to be a great year together here on the Unstuck Entrepreneur podcast. One big thing that I did do while I had some more space in my business life was to start a big new training. And I alluded to this in a few episodes, I think, before I took my break, that I was starting in on this big new learning experience that I was really excited to dive into. And I did. And it's been going super well, better than expected. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I am learning all about copywriting, and specifically copywriting for small businesses, for sales pages, emails, launches, websites, everything, all of it. And really just the words that you are using in your business and how to use them effectively, which is, again, something we're going to be talking about coming up. So be prepared for that too. So I really dove into that. I gave myself a schedule, which for me is how it works best for me to stick to these kinds of things. And I shared a little bit about that on my stories, what I was doing to make sure that I stayed on track with what I wanted to accomplish in this certification program in the time that I had. So every day on my calendar, because I had a little more flexibility and wasn't creating as much content for my business, I had a little bit more time. And so every day, starting at 1:00, I stopped what I was doing and I started learning. I started my trainings and just did that every day that I wasn't on vacation or traveling or, the weekend when I was just enjoying my personal time. I made that part of my plan for the day and it has gone really well. I love it. I'm so excited, you guys. Not only do I have plans to incorporate everything I'm learning into my business, but also I really, really, really want to break this all down for you so that you can become a better copywriter in your business instead of either A, not thinking about it at all, which is what I think a lot of people are doing, or B, hiring someone that is really probably outside of your budget. You don't have to do those two things. You can not be a writer, not be a creative, but still have good copy as a service-based business, and you should. So that's what I really want to do. It's something I've been doing naturally in my business forever now. I'd say probably intentionally 5 or 6 years. And so then to get a little bit more of the nitty-gritty, to understand a little bit more of it, and to have a mentor that I can work with to help in my business and to help you with your businesses, something I am just beyond excited to share with you. And I have a lot of that coming up. Of course, I'll be sharing tons of that here on the podcast over the coming months. I have an entire series planned that will probably come out late January, early February that will blow your mind and will change everything for you. So be on the lookout for that. But I'm just excited and I'm really still diving into that even as I come back to more intentional content creation in January. I still am making that learning, that teaching a priority for myself and will continue to do that until I know every single thing because I am that invested, I am that involved, and I am loving it that much. And I'm excited to make this part of my business too and just offer these services potentially to someone that doesn't want to learn it and doesn't want to know and just wants to have it done for them. I can do that as well. So all of that coming up, that's what I've been up to. I hope you all have had an amazing time off. If you are able to do that for yourself, holiday season, if that's something that you're into, I hope all of it, everything is going well for you. And hey, guess what? It's a new year. And of course, as with everything in any industry, when it comes to a new year, we have new goals. We have these desires, these visions of ourselves. And that's what I had you do in the last episode is really create that vision of who you're going to be at the end of 2023 and start moving from that place and thinking from that place. And so now you have this concept of what you want to accomplish in this year for your business. I'm sure you have stuff in other areas of your life that you're working on too. But if you want to have a business or you do have a business, then you should have some yearly intentions, yearly plans, yearly goals, yearly visions that you want to achieve. So how do we do that in the year 2023? Because things are different this year, as with every year. And, January 2023, what we're in now is the 10th anniversary of my business. I started my business in January of 2013. So I'm celebrating the 10th birthday of what is Aviva Fitness, which is what I started with in 2013 and have kind of kept that name, but doing business as Shawn Mynar Holistic Health now over the years. In that 10 years, gosh, if I think back to all of the different turns of the year, everyone was so different and so much happened as a small business in the year that every new turn of the year was a new approach. And that's what happens, especially in online business, because it moves fast and it changes fast. And the things that worked one year don't even exist the next year. Like there's just a lot of movement and there's a lot of change and evolution from year to year as an online business, especially, and with all businesses, of course. But if we're talking specifically about building and creating that online service-based business, you better believe that what you were doing in 2022 is not going to be the same thing that you do in 2023. And there's so many people, business coaches, I think, that give these like predictions of what they think the year will bring. And I'm not going to do that. And I don't want to do that because there is no way to know. I mean, you can look back at what's happened in 2022 and be like, I couldn't have predicted that. And, if I think back 10 years ago, I definitely could not have predicted anything that happened in my business because it all just moves and changes so fast. So yeah, we have these goals and desires and plans for our year, but please make sure they are fluid and they change as things change in the environment, as things evolve in the industry, and allow yourself to evolve and grow with that. But with all that being said, I do think that there are some things, and specifically 5 things, that you can and should be focusing your attention and energy on in 2023 to grow your business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And if I'm being totally honest, there's not really anything new that we've never talked about before. I have been talking about all these things for a really long time because they have stood the test of time and continue to be extremely important no matter what else happens in the industry, in business, no matter how many different social media channels come up and where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be creating content and where it's supposed to go and all that stuff. This stuff all remains the same. It always remains constant and has for the past 10 years that I've been growing a business. So that is why, yes, I've always been talking about them, but now I'm going to put them all in one spot for you to consider and put an even bigger focus on in your business in 2023. Okay? They stand the test of time. So let's get into it. The first one is really by far the most important one. And if there's only one thing that you do this entire year and hopefully forever moving forward in your business to grow it, please let it be this. And I know that this can be a challenge, but I hope you're up for the challenge because it's what needs to happen. You need to step into the role of a business owner, of an entrepreneur, and not just a coach. Yes, you are a coach, you are a practitioner, you are a consultant, you have the education, the experience, the credentials, all the things, but you are not just that. And if you don't want to add on that you are a business owner, that you are an entrepreneur, then go work for someone else. There are plenty of people who need coaches and consultants and practitioners under them to help them with their business. And I say this with all the love. I'm not saying that to be mean at all. I'm saying that so that you understand that there's more to the story if you want to be a coach with your own business. If you want to work for yourself as a coach, then you need to put on a different hat. And that is the hat of the entrepreneur, of the business owner. And you can start right now by telling people when they ask you what you do, that you have your own business teaching nutrition, or you have your own business where you coach people through divorce, or you have your own business. You are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner who also does that coaching thing. You are not a health coach. You are not a birth coach. You are a business owner who does that thing in their business. Just that one switch right there makes the biggest difference. And I think we can all agree, and the reason why this is so important is because those are two very different roles. As a coach, practitioner, consultant, service-based provider, you help people. You help people on a journey from their point A to point B, where they want to be. As an entrepreneur, you are a strategist, a visionary, a marketer, a planner. You are motivated. You are a dreamer. You are a go-getter. You're committed. You're consistent. You're excited. You are in a totally different space than when you have your coaching hat on. And yes, of course, that hat will come in handy when you're with your clients, when you're having calls, when you're doing your thing. But you have to have that other entrepreneur hat on in order to get those clients, in order to attract people to your work, in order to have those people understand what you do and who you help and that you are the right person for them, in order to get them to the point where they're ready and willing and happy and excited to pay you to work with them. That all requires a different hat. And I have worked with a lot of you listening. I have talked to a lot of you listening. And I know for a fact that a lot of you are not putting on that entrepreneur hat. You're not. And it could be out of fear. We talk about that a lot here on the show. Fear that you aren't experienced enough, you don't know what you're doing, it won't work, you'll fail, all those things that we talk about all the time here. Or it could be just because you don't know how to do that. You don't know what that looks like. And that's, again, why we're here too. That is why I do what I do, to show you and coach you through that process of stepping into that role so that you can be an effective coach because you are a business owner who has attracted those people to work with you. You got to do both. So my challenge for you, my ultimate goal and dream and desire for you in 2023 is to put on that entrepreneur hat every time you are not with your clients or doing client work. Step into the role of a business owner and start thinking, acting, behaving, feeling, doing, being that person from that place. And if you need help, please reach out to me and I will guide you in the right direction of where you can learn what that looks like and how it feels and all the things that you need to do. Okay? Step into the role of business owner, not just coach. They are very different roles. They require very different things. And you need to be both with a heavy emphasis on the business owner if you want to grow your business in 2023. Most important. Okay, so really everything else I'm going to talk about doesn't really matter unless you do this one first and in addition. Okay. Number 2, focus on connections over numbers. We are in a very numbers-driven world. The online business world is a very numbers-focused space. Followers and likes and comments and shares and subscribers and all of this. And we talk about numbers. But there is nothing more important. And in fact, those numbers don't matter at all if you're not also creating real, true, genuine connections with those people and really making that way more important, because it is, than the amount of people. But how many connections are you creating? Real connections to the point where when people see your name pop up in their inbox, they're like, yes, I got an email from so-and-so. I can't wait to see what they have to say today. That is what we want. And for them to reply back to your emails and tell you exactly what they need, for them to DM you on social media and start a conversation and let them know how much your content is helping them. That is what moves the needle way more than the numbers do. Because let's just say, for instance, that you're upset because you started your email list a month ago and you only have 50 new subscribers. When, your colleagues and the people you follow on social media and all these people have thousands of subscribers, and that is what they think is their claim to fame for making $1 billion. And all these crazy stories we hear, right? But think about that. 50 people have told you, not only told you, but given you their highly valuable email address and said, I am interested in what you have to say, in what you have to offer, in what you do. I think I might need your help. So here, go ahead and email me. That is a huge deal. 50 people told you that in the past month. And if you focus on building those connections over thinking, oh, well, there's only 50 people, so why even bother sending an email every week? Who cares? I'm just not going to do it. There's only 50. I'm failing, clearly, which I know goes through your mind. But what if instead you spent your time and energy really focusing on creating 50 real, true, genuine connections with those people? What would change for you and your business if those 50 people wanted to work with you? Or even half of that. If 25 people wanted to work with you, wanted to have your one-on-one services or be part of your next group program, that would be pretty significant, wouldn't it? And then what if that kept happening the next month and the next month and the next month? So after the entire year, you have made 600 genuine connections. Big deal, and would exponentially change your business forever. So instead of getting wrapped up in what everyone else is saying about their numbers and what it takes and what they're doing and just all this stuff that we can very easily start comparing ourselves to and then get kind of down about our numbers, don't do that. Stay focused on what you're really here to do, which is to be able to help those people that rose their hand and said, yeah, I hear what you're saying and I think this might help me, so give me more details. So that is what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on those connections. And I've kind of obviously alluded to this just in the past few minutes. That happens in two places, really. For the first and foremost, most important is on your email list. How you get people on your email list, which is with that epic freebie, and how you connect with people once they're there, which is with your weekly emails, your weekly newsletter. If you've been putting off your email list and making that a priority in your business, that ends this year. Please promise me that ends this year and you really start making that a priority in your business. I don't care where you're at right now. I don't care if you're started your business today or haven't started it yet or are 3 years in. Make it a focus, make it a priority, make those connections that you build by way of your emails a major point of focus this year, and just watch how much changes for you and your business by the end of the year if you put your energy towards this. I am here to help you with this process, to get it set up the right way, to get it working behind the scenes for you. That is all available to you in a launch list accelerator. Go to shawnmynar.com/list and get started on that today. You will be so grateful that you didn't waste any more time not working on building your email list. All right, number 3, make your content meaningful and memorable. There's so much focus on content. Create more content. Create all the content. Never stop creating content, which in some regards is true. It is a very valuable way to build your business and attract an audience and get people to know, like, and trust you, and to help build those connections that I was just talking about. But because that message is out there about the amount of content you need to put out, it means there's a lot of content out there. It means everyone's putting out content, and that's fine. That's great. But that just goes to my point and shows how important it is to make your content different, to make it so that it does stand out to the right people. That's all that matters, is the people that you want to help, the niche or niche you have found yourself in, that it stands out to those people, your dream clients, that it is meaningful and memorable to them. So in this world where you're told to put out more and more and more and more and all the content, instead focus on creating an amount of content that works for you, that keeps it meaningful and memorable. Because having 2 Instagram posts a week that are unique and special and meaningful and memorable to the right people is way more valuable to your business and will help your business grow way more than putting out 5 Instagram posts a week that are just kind of blah, that you're just putting out content to put out content because that's what you heard you're supposed to do. So focus on the value that you can bring to the content that you can put out and make it unique and special and something that people will notice. I mean, because of the amount of content that is out there right now, people aren't responding and reacting to every single Instagram post they see or podcast episode that gets put out or YouTube video that shows up. They're not. They're being picky and choosy because we can't consume the amount of content that's out there. None of us can. So we're being picky and choosy. So what do we need to do to have the people that we want to help pick and choose us? And that is standing out from the crowd. And like I said, it doesn't mean by creating more and more and more and more. It's by creating something special. So focus on the value and the meaning behind the content that you do create. And this goes for all content. Yes, social media. Yes, podcasts, blog posts, YouTube videos, your newsletter, your freebies, everything you're putting out, everything that you're creating that goes out to your audience or to the people that you want to be in your audience. That's what I mean by content. And yes, you do have to create content. I don't really see I see it being very challenging to build a business with having zero content. So that is something that over the years has become more and more and more important as online business grows. But again, it's not about just shoving it out because you have to put it out and you have to do something every day. I really want to see you spend the time and energy to create something meaningful for your people and put that out into the world. Number 4, make it easy and accessible for people to get the help they need from you. And this really boils down to, and especially kind of going into a year where there's a recession and things are going to get worse supposedly and all this stuff. And I don't want to get into all of that because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I have no idea. Not going to talk about what could or could not happen to the economy, but it really does show how important it is to have more than one way for someone to work with you and get the help they need, and ideally at varying price points. So if you only offer at this point one-on-one packages and they're, thousands of dollars, which they should be, and that is important for you to get paid your value for your time and your education and your experience. So rightfully so that it would cost thousands of dollars to work with you. But there may be people who need your help that simply can't afford to pay thousands of dollars to get the help they need. So can you have another offer or more offers, a whole suite of offers that people can choose from to get started, to work on their journey to get from their point A to point B at a price point that works for them? And especially if there is some economic uncertainty going around in the world, then they may be more apt to go for something at a lower price point right now. And that is fine. But no matter what, and the cool thing about the business that you are in is that the need for coaching, the need for health and wellness services, or whatever area of focus you're in, that doesn't go away because there is a recession. It is not a luxury item to work on your health and wellness and mental wellness and emotional health and all of the things that we do with our clients. That's still a need. But can you make it so that it is accessible to more people? And so all this says for you and your business is to create more paid offers in your business. And of course, signature programs are my favorite, my best bet for a way that people can really get a significant transformation and be able to work with you and get your coaching and ask you questions and have connection with you without it being in a one-on-one setting. And also still get the value of being in a community of like-minded people and having those support systems in place too, and it being a much more accessible price point and really being a win-win-win for everyone involved. And that's why I love signature programs. That's why I teach you how to put a signature program out into the world in a way that works for you and for your clients and isn't stressful or overwhelming for anyone. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to shawnmynar.com/burnout-proof. I have a free masterclass going on that will show you how to make that happen in your business. So shawnmynar.com/burnout-proof if you want 2023 to be the year you start offering more paid offers that are more accessible to the clients that you want to help, but also are more doable for you and your schedule and your time and your energy. You can have it all. And so that is something we can work on for you. And perhaps there's even something at an even lower price point, a very introductory price point, maybe an ebook or a masterclass that can get people started in those first steps or two that they need to get into to start that transformation that they're looking for, to ease on their symptoms, to get a little bit of support or guidance. So something like that is available too. That could be like, $100 or a couple $100 to get people started on that at a very accessible price point. So just consider your options and see what you can do to have that suite of different ways people can work with you. And last but not least, number 5, you gotta up your marketing game in 2023. And this goes along with number 1, which is stepping into the role of business owner and not just a coach. I'd say one of the biggest roles, if not the biggest role of a business owner, is a marketer. You've got to focus on your marketing efforts. And, I have to be honest, back in the day when I started my business and, when I took it online, which was a couple years, let's say 8 years ago, you didn't have to be that good of a marketer, if I'm being totally honest with you, because there wasn't that many people in the online business space with these online programs, these online courses, these memberships, all the things that we're doing today in the online business world. That was much smaller when I started. And so you could just be like, hey, I have this thing, come grab it. And people would, because it was kind of this novel thing at that time. But a lot has changed in those 8 years, and there's a lot more people in the online business space. There's a lot more people selling things that are similar to you and me and everyone. That's the case for everybody, which doesn't mean that it's saturated or you shouldn't do it or your business is doomed. It just means you need better marketing. You need to up your marketing game. That's all it is. You need to, and kind of goes back to creating that content too, even your marketing content, which includes lots of copywriting, needs to be meaningful and memorable. It needs to be different. It needs to stand out. It needs to be unique. And that is what will attract the right people to your work, no matter how many people out there are doing something similar, no matter how many social media posts they scroll through, and then they get to yours and it's different and it attracts them and it stops them and it gets them to read and it gets them to click and learn more and sign up for your freebie or whatever it is that you're promoting. So the ho-hum cookie cutter marketing and copy doesn't work anymore. It needs to connect. It needs to be real. It needs to be authentic. And it doesn't need to be and shouldn't be sleazy or pushy or scammy marketing, weird sales techniques. That does not work, obviously. I think we all know that, and nobody wants to do that. So I'm not saying that when I say up your marketing game. I'm saying be more intentional, be more authentic, be more real, connect, and really get to know that person that you want to work with. Like really, like step into their vision. Become them as much as you can. And for a lot of you in your business and what you do for people now, how you coach them is based on your own experience. So you have a really good chance of connecting with them based on what you went through and how it felt for you and how it looked for you and what you did and didn't do and what worked and what didn't, and put that into their space, into their person, knowing that that's very similar to what they're going through too. And then you have this connection point. And I think we can all agree that when we meet someone that has been through something similar to what we're going through now, we're like, oh yes, finally someone that gets it. And that is when you stop them. You stop the scroll, you create something meaningful, you get them to remember you, you get them to look forward to hearing from you. And that's marketing. And that's what your copywriting can do. The words you are using to convey this message, that is what it will do for you. And that is very unique, very special in a sea where no one's giving that enough attention right now. And there's a lot of people in that sea, a lot of fish swimming around. Becoming a better marketer, a better copywriter will be what sets you apart. And, that's one of the reasons I kind of really got into with this and learning more. It's one of the reasons I really want to help you. I have found time and time again that as I work with one-on-one clients, especially, we end up just working on their copy. We end up just working on their copywriting, and just doing that one thing helps just really skyrocket their business. And so all of that is what I'm really going to be focusing on in 2023, what I am going to be guiding you to focus on in 2023. And all of these, if we can do these 5 things and really keep these at the forefront for the entire year, I promise you things are going to change in a very significant way for your business. So if that is of interest to you, you can expect that these will be the 5 key pieces, the key pillars of what we do here on the show, of what I share over on social media. You can find me at Shawn Mynar on Instagram. That's my main point of contact on social media. Head over there. Let's do this together. Let's focus on these things together. I will be your guide. I will share with you what you can do to stand out from the crowd in 2023, to focus on making real connections instead of just worrying about some random numbers that don't really matter, and to set this all up in your business in a way that feels good and is fun and is not stressful, and you don't have to hustle or grind your way to success. You can set these things up in a way that works for you and your life and your business. That is the goal. That is the focus for 2023 for me and hopefully for you. And if so, let's do it together. And with that, we'll wrap it up there. If this episode was of value to you, let me know. Send me a direct message over on Instagram at Shawn Mynar with what stuck out for you, how it helped. please send me a message. I'd love to connect there. If you have a friend who is also determined to grow their business in 2023, make sure to send this episode to them so they can have a listen as well and get the support and advice they need. And Happy New Year. Until next time, take care. Hey friends, Shawn here. And if you're a coach or practitioner who's looking to help more people make more money and have more free time, then I have a special invitation for you that you don't want to miss. Right now, I'm hosting a free masterclass that will walk you through the process of adding a signature program to your business. As many of you know, the signature program business model has been my primary way of doing business since 2017. And after 7 programs of my own created and helping dozens of other wellness pros create theirs, I'm now sharing my exact process with you for free in this 1-hour masterclass. Now you might be thinking, Shawn, I'm just not ready to have my own program yet, or I don't have the time to build a program right now. Are you crazy? I totally get it. I get all of it, which is exactly why I created this training in the first place. I want you to see how possible this really is for you and how simple it can be when you have a tried and true proven system in place, no matter where you're at in your business today. So if you're like most coaches and practitioners who have a dream of creating a scalable offer in their business that helps the people they're meant to help without it being directly tied to your time and energy, then there's a seat with your name on it inside my Burnout Proof Your Business Masterclass. In just 1 hour, you're going to learn why adding a signature program will uncap your income potential forever and give you more time for your own life, health, family, and self-care. You'll learn exactly how my client sold out her first program, even with a small audience, because of this one super simple marketing hack that I am going to reveal. You'll learn the simplified, foolproof process that will take your knowledge and experience and turn it into your own program in just 6 weeks. And also how to implement an automated marketing system that will grow an engaged audience full of perfect match clients that can't wait to enroll in your program once it's ready, even if right now you're starting at 0. All you have to do is head to shawnmynar.com/burnoutproof and save your seat for this masterclass before it's gone. shawnmynar.com/burnoutproof. Can't wait to see you there.